John Craddock, welcome here and welcome to the Cloud Studio.
Oh, thank you. I'm pleased to be here.
Good to hear that. It's the second time that you're attending TechDays as a speaker.
Yes, it's the second. So I was here last year and back again which is great. Like
good.
being here.
You like being here? That's good to know. What about the sessions that you have held? Yesterday you held one session?
No. So this morning.
This morning.
So I did a session this morning on cloud computing and asking the question, is it right for you? And then I have a second session today on federated identity.
So what do you tell the audience? Is the cloud right for them, or what do you say?
Well, I can't answer that question. What I do is just pose a whole series of questions that they should be asking themselves. So by moving to a cloud provider, then what they're going to be doing is basically changing their security posture. So depending whether you go for software as a service, application as a service, or infrastructure as a service, depends how your security posture changes, and you're relinquishing control to the cloud vendor, and therefore you have to make sure that it meets your needs.
And what other type of recommendations do you talk about with your customers around just
okay, so in terms of talking to customers, I mean, there's sort of generally two approaches. There's the CEO who's been out to dinner with a cloud salesman, and he comes in and says, "We're going to go to cloud. You know, we're going to save huge amounts of money."
I recognize that scenario.
Yeah, it's a good scenario, that one. And then there's the person saying, "I'm not putting my data in the cloud." You know, and it's sort of. And what I try and position, or what I tried to do with position the talk this morning, was actually saying, okay, the cloud is here, there's definite benefit in the cloud, but you need to step gracefully into the cloud, not jump into it. I mean, one of the organizations I worked with in the UK, where the CEO said we're going cloud, and then they hadn't realized, well, the chief security officer hadn't realized quite how much their security posture was going to change. So I worked with them in actually analyzing their current mode of operation and what the cloud would mean to them and how they could best fit with the cloud. And
what is the response from customers and organizations around this then?
Around the cloud? I think I can sort of probably turn both around. So the person who's jumped, I can say, hold on a minute, just before they fall off the precipice. And I catch them, and I pull them back, and I say, okay, so let's look at this, and let's see where it benefits the company, where it doesn't meet your security profile and your policies, and how we can work with that. And so we use benefit from the cloud, but in
order to get a secure environment.
In order to get your security will change. There's no question about that. So definitely your security posture changes. So will it work for you is the question. And what we have to do is benefit security is a sort of balance between keeping the bad guys out,
a little bit like that,
and letting the company be agile. So agile with its users, agile with business change, and so on. And so what the cloud gives is tremendous agility, but we are changing, and basically giving a lot of our security or putting a lot of our trust for security in the vendor. Now, for a lot of companies, the vendor's security will probably be better than the company's. So when you're looking at data centers, the physical security, the governance, policies, etc., will probably be better from the cloud vendor than for the in-house company. Now, if the company in-house has specific security requirements, they may not be met by the cloud, in which case they should be aware of that, and maybe that is not a service they should consume from the cloud. So I see it at the moment as sort of mixture of on-premise and cloud services. And so picking the best
out of the two worlds.
Out of the two worlds. And then the other people say, well, no, I'm not going to put my data in the cloud. I can normally reposition them as well, saying, look, there is definite benefit. I mean, one of the real benefits of the cloud that I see is that there's a huge amount of capability for innovation, and also the ability as a new marketplace. So imagine you have an in-house applications that's been developed. Maybe it's a financial modeling program, and this is fantastic. I mean, if you wanted to sell it, and you think about, how do I sell this? How do I license it? How do I check that there's going to be license abuse? Terribly difficult.
Yeah, whereas it's a complex model.
Yeah, whereas if you make it available through the cloud, if they consume it, they pay for it.
Yeah.
If they don't
and
consume
then you're
it,
done. No,
and there's no license abuse.
Right.
And you can scale.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So
That's a good
I
scenario
say
to
it's thinking about all these different ways we can innovate in the cloud.
Yeah, I guess it's going to explode in that area for applications, so to speak. So just put up there for consumers and organizations in order to get.
Yes, and I mean, in the UK, our government is now saying, if you've got an idea, you would need to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you've got an idea for doing something e-commerce on the web, what better way of doing it than doing it through cloud? Because you've got no upfront capital costs. Yes, you've got the cost of the development of
it, but you get that anyhow.
Yeah. So it's a great marketplace.
Interesting to hear. Thank you, John. It was good to have you here, and I hope you have a lot of people and awake people at the audience at your next session.
I hope they're awake too.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.